Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, I want us to take a look at Bitcoin's recent price action, um, essentially just moving past 14K like butter. I was one of them, but a lot of people were saying that $14,000 will be a resistance that Bitcoin will respect, simply because of the last two times we hit it. If I flip it to the monthly candle at this point, you can see that the peak of that mini bull run, or bull run if you want to call it that, in 2019, as well as the monthly close, December 2017, which was the last major bull market, both closed or touched 14 around $14,000. So it's very exciting to see that Bitcoin is at currently, at the time of recording, at $14,890. And it has been fluctuating to like higher to closer to $15,000. I think on Bitstamp, we pretty much touched $15,000. We were a 10 cents short from $15,000. So what does this mean? Well, if we pull it back to the weekly, and this white line here is the 20-week moving average, you can see that we're roughly 34% above the weekly moving average now. We are considerably high, and extremely bullish. But if you look at this trend here, it kind of almost seems as expected. The trend is essentially continuing. What was interesting is I feel like a few videos ago, I mentioned about this trading channel, this rising channel here, um, where Bitcoin was essentially trading along this channel. I'll redraw it for just for visual purposes, because what it seems to be happening now is that Bitcoin is rising above this channel. Last two times it rose, it kind of hovered over and then came back down and then leveled off. But at the moment right now, we are seeming to peak out of it. Now, don't be discouraged, because there were multiple times um, here where we did wick up. And this is on the weekly candle, and the week isn't over yet. It's far from over. It's Thursday. We have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to come back down to this channel. But it's always something to keep in mind. Now, uh, uh, you and I, all of us, need to be prepared if uh, Bitcoin decides to keep this up. I know it's the best kind of thinking of like, this trend is never going to stop. This run is never going to stop. But if eventually it will, and and then we'll come to the point where we're either moving sideways. So like, say Bitcoin's trend moves up, say we go up to like 17,000 or something, and then we start moving sideways. Eventually, this 20-week moving average is going to trend upwards, and it's going to make contact with the sideways action of Bitcoin. Or alternatively, we could at some point move straight up and then correct back down to the 20-week moving average. I think that is something that would happen. How we get to the 20-week moving average is entirely up to Bitcoin, and uh, no one really has like a clear prediction on what Bitcoin's going to do. Both cases seem plausible. We're looking at this very bullish uptrend. It's very hard to imagine, for some people, that this trend is going to stop anytime soon. Some people would argue that we're going to rise up to 20K. And looking at the distance between where we are to 20K, it doesn't really seem all that realistically far. At the same time, when we look at how high it is above the 20-week moving average, how it's touching this line here, how, and we'll get to this in a second, but how we're now peaking above the dominance, the descending trend line that I've drawn, that Bitcoin has respected since last year. And also because we're getting into oversold territory in the daily, it would seem consistent, or to some point natural and expected, for Bitcoin to cool off and it either come back down or start trading sideways. Uh, I have been for the last week hoping for a sideways moving Bitcoin because it will give an opportunity for altcoins to catch up. But at the moment, Bitcoin doesn't really care about our altcoin positions. It's continuing to move up. So this is something to keep in mind. I would say level expectations and be prepared for both scenarios. Bitcoin can very well keep this run up as long as it wants. Um, at the same time, don't be surprised if Bitcoin reverses or moves sideways back to make contact with the 20-week moving average. Um, Now, when we look at altcoins, and I talked about like Uniswap the other day, and I have been saying that because of the Bitcoin dominance rise, altcoins are really bleeding, and you can see it in Ethereum, where we're down at 0.027 when we were at a high during the beginning of September at almost zero point zero 0.04 uh, against Bitcoin. Uh, Link is another one that we have just been continually to trend down. Last time I shot a video and took a price of Link, we were down 56%, but now we're down to 57%, and we wicked down to almost 60% losses against Bitcoin. Now you'll see that Ethereum and Link, their US dollar valuation is up. That's correct because the Bitcoin valuation didn't bleed hard enough to not realize the US dollar gains against Bitcoin. When Bitcoin's up 55% and Ethereum is down 2.3, well, the difference is going to be around 3% gain in US dollar valuation. Same thing with Link. What's interesting to see is that Uniswap has had an immense gain of 14% for the day against Bitcoin, and it's only the beginning of the day. And if we measure from the wick, I believe it's about like over 20% gain in valuation. It's about a 30%, which is amazing. However, we have seen these moves up before, like here, where Uniswap really tries to make a reversal. So, am I for all I know, because it's my contention with Uniswap is I'm very confident that it will reverse. When it will is anyone's guess. But I mentioned that I would start buying at around 20,000 sats and continue to buy down, and was prepared to buy until 90% loss against Bitcoin from the wick. Um, and this is important to know with any trader. When you see something like a green candle like this, so you could see these two red lines. These are the levels that I bought. So I recently bought a few days ago at 15,500 sats, and it continued to go lower. That was fine. I was prepared to see it continue to lose valuation. However, the next day, today, um, it shot back up to the level I previously bought at. Now, my ruling is that I'm looking to buy like around once a week. Um, for Uniswap to average in my positions. When I see this green candle, and let's say for a hypothetical that it continues to go up and it goes past my initial buying position, um, my second rule is that I will continue to buy even if it's between these two lines, even when it's now next week. Albeit it probably won't be as a larger like additional position. I would probably buy more if it continues to go down. However, if it's moving up, then my average buy-in position will slowly will get smaller. However, if it passes this line, I'm done buying. I might have not had an in my mind, yes, it would have been nice to buy more at lower levels, but um, it's better to buy some at a like a good price that I think is a good price than buying into this trend. I mean, it's the same kind of mindset if you're buying Bitcoin at these levels. If Bitcoin is really trending upwards and you're wanting to get in on that, so you're buying Bitcoin at these levels, well, just as we said a few minutes ago, it almost seems kind of natural for Bitcoin to reverse and come back down. Well, if that happens, then that's really a bad day for you. And I'd rather buy less at these levels than to buy more at these top higher levels and watch it come back down, right? So I'm completely content if Uniswap decides to just go straight up here, like this is where the reversal starts. Um, I am perfectly fine. Albeit, I wish I could have bought more. However, I will not. I will stay disciplined in that sense that of my rulings of look, I won't buy any more Uniswap if it passes 20,000 sats. Because that is the most expensive Uniswap I am considering to buy. So that's something to keep in mind when looking at the dominance chart very quickly, because the dominance chart is relevant. Well, we're seeing a 5% gain against on Bitcoin today, 5.67%, which is a lot of money. With Bitcoin dominance, we are now over that trend line. However, again, as I said about these wicks above this red channel, like this red line here, Bitcoin dominance can and has a possibility of wicking over the line. So again, this is on the weekly chart. So the week's not over yet. We'll definitely see where Bitcoin dominance falls by the end of the week. It should be interesting to watch. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. It's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I woke up this morning and saw the price and kind of wanted to talk about that. So thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button down below. And if you really liked the video, hit subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Take care.